Well, blessed Monday to you as we come with your weekly worship, or should I say, your daily encouragement. I won't say weekly worship. It's Monday, and we are very glad to have you here with us today. We are in First Peter, and we're going through First Peter, and so we have a lot to present to you. Now, what Peter talked about, maybe it was something that was a little bit unclear to you, but I think it is important to get through our minds and our hearts is that not only are the promises of God important, but even the sufferings we may go through on behalf of God, on behalf of the world that God has created, are just as important. And so Peter is talking about a living hope, and sometimes that hope is not that God is alleviating our suffering immediately, but he's giving a hope through the suffering, through the things that we are struggling with. And I think that that is what Peter is getting at. And he's saying long ago there were prophets, there were stories that he's going to give examples to the people of Galatia who were Gentiles, who were adopting the stories of the Old Testament, just like we have throughout the years. Our African American brothers and sisters who have songs of slavery being set free like Moses, and others who have adopted stories that are not based on ethnicity, but based on the experience of faith and trust and suffering with a living hope. And so we are called to enter into that in this passage, in these passages from First Peter. So it says in 1 Peter 1:13, it says, "Therefore prepare your minds for action. Discipline yourselves, set your all your love, all your hope, set all your hope on the grace that Jesus Christ will bring when he is revealed." Now, part of the thing we've been talking about is Jesus present and Jesus not present. Jesus revealed, like an apocalypse. That's what it means, the lifting up of the curtain. And Jesus not revealed. In faith, we trust that Jesus is with us. Matthew 18, where two or three are gathered in his name, we promise that Jesus is with us. As a Lutheran, we have this understanding of sacraments, both baptism and Holy Communion, as Jesus present in, with, and under the water, bread, and wine, present with us in the assembly. That's why they were commandments of gifts, commandments of promise to walk with us, to be with us in a tangible, physical way, in and with the bread and wine and the waters of baptism. So all of those things are important for us to remember. Therefore, prepare your minds for action. Discipline yourselves. Set all your hope on the grace that Jesus Christ will bring when he is revealed. Now, Peter could be talking about two things. He's revealed where two or three are gathered, but he's still hidden. But revealed also means at the end of time, where all the things that are talked about, not only in the book of Revelation, but in all of the books, hinting at a new heaven and a new earth. And then we will see our faith face to face. Paul talks about in that famous love passage, we only see through a mirror dimly, but then we will see fully. And so Peter is encouraging us in the midst of not seeing things fully yet, not seeing things fully revealed, but as they will be, we can experience that revelation of love. Like obedient children, he says, do not be conformed to the desires that you formerly had in ignorance. Some of those desires, of course, were to live for today only, to live for the lusts and the pleasures of this life, and not anticipate the living hope that is just around the corner. And that is what is the tension of the Christian life. The battle that we fight, sometimes even with the devil himself, that could be close to our hearts, telling us to seek pleasure rather than seek the will of God. And it doesn't have to always be that way. It isn't that God is against pleasure. It's the question of whether that is all you're seeking. Are you seeking love? Are you seeking justice? Are you seeking doing the right thing? Instead, as he who called you is holy, be holy yourselves in your conduct. For it is written, you shall be holy, for I am holy. And that was the mission of the chosen people of God. It is also the mission of us. as believers. One of the most profound statements, if not difficult statements, that we find in the Beatitudes, the story of Jesus on the Sermon on the Mount, is where he says, "Be ye perfect as I am perfect." Lutherans should be shuddering. We'd be saying, "Well, I thought I'm a saint, but I'm also a sinner." Yes, that's your reality that you experience, but the reality that we're moving towards is a perfect reality, a perfect relationship that we just haven't had revealed, not only with Jesus' return, but also within our own spirits. The reality we see is a struggle between doing good and doing evil. But what we're called to see is a revelation of what it means to do things like God wants us to do things. And that is not just waiting for the end times. That's the popular one for people to say, "I'm just waiting for the end times," or anticipating, "I'm just anticipating the end times." One of my pastors used to always say, "Your end times is when you go to be with the Lord." And those end times can come in a very personal way. So don't just wait for the cosmic end times. Think about your own personal end times, where God will hold you and us accountable for our lives. And of course, the only plea that we can give at that time, where we have the reality of our lives shown before us in all its clarity, in all its warts and everything, we have to say, "I plead the blood, I plead the righteousness, I plead the life of Jesus." And I want that revealed fully, not just by faith, but by sight at that time. And so Peter is saying, while you are not in sight, live by faith, but anticipate the revelation of not only seeing Jesus face to face, but seeing your life that is not righteous yet in full righteousness when the time comes. God bless you today. We trust that these continue to be words of encouragement. Take care. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.